Y'all, I did not know that I was zoomed in all the way, y'all. I hope y'all did not see the stuff that was on my face. Now, quick disclosure for anybody that has clicked on this video because you're looking to get away from the bedside. Even though you are working in an office ambulatory setting, these patients are not staying overnight with you. They're not there all day. You still need to have some type of clinical knowledge, and when emergencies do arise, they are looking towards you. So I'm gonna tell you, I have my grab and go bag at all times ready. I am on high alert. Whenever a patient arrives and there's something that goes wrong, they are running to me. All right, so the first pro, I feel like I'm losing my light. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna freak out if I lose my light. So the first pro, a lot of nurses go into a clinic outpatient setting because of the hours. You have set hours. You're working anywhere from Monday through Friday, or you may do like a Tuesday through Saturday. I know some places that require you to work Tuesday through Saturdays. At least when I worked in the OR, it was like that because we didn't have surgery on Mondays. But you work 9:30 to 6 or 9 to 5, or in my case 8:30 to 5 o'clock, whatever the shift may be. It's a 40-hour work week. Some places also require you to work Saturdays. Luckily, where I work, I have weekends off, which is nice. I'll talk about the cons with this a little bit later, but a lot of people go into this also because you get the holidays off, and they're paid holidays. Now, with that said, you have obligations outside of work. You may have a family, you may have school, and this type of schedule can accommodate that, and it's consistent. It's not going to change. Now, the second pro with working in an outpatient setting, it is less hectic. So you're not working the bedside. Again, you're not having patients that have to stay with you all day, all night. You're mainly doing vitals. You may be doing immunizations, blood draws, whatever is required. It's not as heavy as if you were working in the hospital. Now, also keep in mind, many facilities are hiring medical assistants to do these things. I know where I work, I personally do not go in the rooms with the patients, but I do a lot on the back end. I actually manage the medical assistants. If you guys would like for me to talk about this further into detail, I would love to. I don't want to go on a tangent, but being in this role is almost like a managerial role. So if there's anybody that's looking to go into management and healthcare, this will be a great role for you. Also, if you're looking to go back to school and get your nurse practitioner, this is a great role to kind of bloom out of, because there's so many opportunities and things that you will be a part of and knowledge that you would gain being in this role. You'll learn a lot of skills that you may not have learned by the bedside or in nursing school, because in nursing school you pretty much don't know anything until you land the job. But being in this type of role, I have learned laser a little bit more. Even though I worked in the OR and I did post-op, I did a lot of laser treatments. This was a little bit different, being that I work in dermatology, so I'm using an eczema machine. I'm also doing phototherapy. You typically wouldn't think a nurse can do, but there are certifications out there that you can get. So this kind of pushes you to do a little bit more for yourself, and you look a little bit more marketable to everyone. So if I wanted to get out of this, I can for sure go somewhere else because of the background that I do have. Now, that may not necessarily be a good thing because people will take advantage of you. So please be sure not to just take any type of job. Make sure that there is a clear list of your responsibilities and that you speak with management on what you can do, because you do not want to jeopardize your license that you work so hard. Now, let's talk about the pay. Now, a lot of these places do not pay as high as the hospital, obviously, because you're working ambulatory. You're not dealing with as many patients. It doesn't require so much clinically out of you. There are some private practices that pay really well, but you have to consider the benefits. A lot of these places pay high because they're not offering benefits. So now we're gonna go into the cons. So as I mentioned before, you have a set schedule. You're working 8 to 5. Sometimes that may be a bad thing because there are certain things that I want to get done during the week that I can't get done on the weekend. So some people would prefer to work 3 days a week or 4 days a week, or work the night shift. The second con is that working in a clinic can kind of take away from your nursing skills, because like I said, it's not heavy duty, it's not a hectic schedule. You're not dealing with unstable patients, and they're kind of coming in for the routine things. So it can get a little boring, which is another con for me. I get bored very easily. Working in specialties, even in the OR, specifically plastic surgery, it's like, how many times am I gonna see lipo over and over again? But things do happen. So I can't say that every day is the same. So if you wanted to pick up bedside PRN, I highly advise, just so you can stay sharp on your skills. Now, the third con is you may have to be a little more tech savvy in this position, because like I said, you're not working so much the bedside. You're not just doing charting. You may be using Excel, you may be doing reports, you may be using Word, you have to send out correspondence. So being in this position, it's going to require you to know these things. Especially in my position, it's very fast paced and you kind of got to juggle juggle a number of projects at once. So that brings me to my next con. You may be doing things out of your scope of practice, and I'm telling you that is not a good thing. A lot of employers are trying to cut corners, which is why I mentioned that they are hiring medical assistants to do certain things. And for my medical assistants, please be mindful. You guys are not licensed. You are technically not supposed to be doing things as far as like bedside. If you are not aware of your scope of practice, please look on the website. It's public information. Do not jeopardize your certificate or your license for an employer. It's not worth it. You guys pay attention, because they will overwhelm you just to save them money and not compensate you accordingly. Another con working in a clinic outpatient setting is you are the nurse and you have to own your work. That means that there's nobody else covering you. Like in my case, there's not another nurse. I may have flex staff, temporary staff that may come in, but I am the nurse. That's not necessarily a good thing, and that's why a lot of people get burnt out. And that's what I was telling you guys in my videos, that I have become that burnt out nurse. There is so much on my plate and I'm always busy. There's not any downtime when it comes to my job. Now the next con, and this is a turn off for me, clinics are really a business at the end of the day. Yes, they are helping patients, but it's not so much about patient care. They're more about numbers. And I'm being so transparent with you guys, because you're trying to do the best to provide patient care. You want to educate patients, but it's almost becoming like an assembly line where patients are just coming in, you're rushing them out because you want to see the next patient, especially if you don't have the staff to accommodate these patients. That becomes a problem. Another downside of working in a clinic setting, and I touched upon this very briefly, is the salary. A lot of these places are not paying what they would pay you if you were doing agency, bedside nursing, working in a hospital. But as I mentioned, there are private practices that are looking to pay you a little bit more, but they're not providing the benefits that you need. You have children, you have a husband, you have other obligations going on. You need to have some type of healthcare insurance. So whenever you're taking a job, you want to make sure that you look at the full package and see what is working in your favor and what would benefit you at the end of the day. And I think I pretty much touched upon everything. If you guys feel like there's a pro or con that I'm missing, share it in the comments. I would love to talk to you guys. If you're a clinic nurse, you work in dermatology or another setting, let me know down in the comments how it's going for you. But I appreciate you guys for watching this video. If you've taken any notes, I hope you have. Be sure to join me in my next video. It may be a vlog, or I'll be talking about nursing, who knows. I love you guys. Thank you. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.